we always have this in mind. Ang nagmamahal ng backwatch, mamahalin ng backwatch. So what we want or what we aim to do is ipatrain sila, get the certificates so that magsulod sila sa backwatch, and if someday they decide to, go out of backwatch, they can bring that certificate with them, which they can use not just locally but internationally.
The following joined DNX in its second anniversary celebration. Negros Occidental Governor Eugenio Jose Locsin, Negros Occidental Vice Governor Jeffrey Ferrer, Bacolod City Mayor Evilio Leonardia, Bacolod City Vice Mayor Elcid Familiaran, Bacolod Congressman Greg Gasataya, and Grace Pharmacy.
Leanna Lopez Liongson is here with us, and with her is one of the
board.
how do I call you? One of the more active and young, dynamic local legislator of Silay City, Mr. Lorenzo Enzo Locsin, no?
And Lopez
Locsin, my cousin.
And you are cousins, actually.
Yeah, we're cousins.
But they are here not because they are cousins, but because they belong to a newly formed rescue organization. How do you call it actually?
It's actually the Backwatch Emergency Response Team.
So ang tawag to sini is it's a rescue.
It's a first responder group. Yeah, it's a team.
And I find it timely because we are going into the last quarter of the year. And usually, kung Philippines, basta ganyan yung pagkato sa last quarter, diri man nagabaskog ang mga bagyo eh.
Yeah.
I mean, killer storms arrive on the fourth quarter of the year. And you launched Backwatch several days ago. Tell us something about it.
Actually, it was not yet the launching of Backwatch. We will launch on September. It was just our first board meeting, Board of Trustees meeting, and as well as for everyone to meet the core group, which ang core group, we formed separately from the Board of Trustees so that they all could also meet everyone. Do ka meet and greet, hi, hello, bonding, get together.
Leanna, for those who have been watching us, is of course known also as 1/3 of the Good Bruhas.
1/5.
1/5. 1/5, 1/3.
1/5.
1/5
of the Good Bruhas.
Sorry, my bad. Okay, so Councilor, ari na.
Ano, sir?
Why this group? Tell us something about Backwatch.
Sir, for me, like, we've been cousins with Leanna, and I know the Good Bruhas during the first pag-pandemic, nag-GCQ today, pag-siragid. Ang Good Bruhas they were the ones who nagtahi to sila mas, sang wala pa din supplies ang face shield nang ngita man sila and the acetate. And ang pagkita ko, sir, nag-abot na ang crisis, amo pag-act sang and during that time, I saw them struggling na gapangita pa sila donation. So, ang time from the time you need it, may 1 week, 2 weeks pa na pangita. So, and not only that, sa last na, like as you mentioned, ang storm season, kita man to sa Silay, nagbaha to sang January 1, then nasundan. Then pagka, ara man to sila, the group of Leanna. Pagka kadtuto nila, pagka-day na mabaha, gapangayo pa sila donation, naglabot pa mga 3 days, 4 days, hasta nag-respond sila. So, Backwatch is, we tried to build a structure, incorporate it. If you incorporate it, kami sa board na side, we incorporate it, we find donations, we gather the enough funding. So, with the enough funding, with the enough budget, we can anticipate. So, instead of acting on a on when the storm comes or the flooding or emergency, instead of acting on that day, we prepare before that so that
Yes.
we can act immediately because it's like first responder.
So it's more of a proactive approach.
Yeah,
Yes, correct.
I like the structure. Like you incorporate the structure of the like the rescue side, and on the sa board of trustee naman yun aside, we would like to build the structure for them na mas effective sila as a first responder.
Allow me, sir, how does it work? You can both answer this.
Okay.
So you have a board of
Trustees.
trustees, not directors, because as a foundation,
Yeah.
it's a trustee.
Yes.
So you are not a director because it's non-profit in the
Yes.
first place. So you have a board of trustees, and then you have what? Anong service arms ninyo?
Like sa operations, I belong I actually do two jobs. Like I'm part of the board I'm the vice chairman, and then alam ako involved sa operations. Bali, how it works is that we are first responders. Aside from the mga emergency like typhoons, mga fire and everything, ang amo gid yung main niya is to provide professional first aid response sa city. Amo gid yung amo niya goal. Like we help the city like in the way na naman.
Excuse me, what city are you referring
Bacolod
to?
City. I'm
Bacolod.
referring to Bacolod City.
Okay.
And nearby cities as well. That's why in general I
So
said city.
Silay, Talisay,
Silay, Talisay, and we also have as much as Banjo City.
Calatrava. Ay, hindi na
Hindi na,
kayo.
it's too far. Anyway, if they call us, then we'll go there.
In case of special emergencies.
Special
like
emergencies,
floodings
we
and
can be tapped.
They can respond.
Yes, we are here to help not just Bacolod City, but the whole Negros. Hindi tayo pakta ng emergency. So, ang amon gidya is, like Subong, the DRRMO, or the Hotline 911. We know na taman sila kadamo ubra Subong, especially that they do extrication of the COVID na mga patients. So, in a way, it's correlated with my mission sa the Good Bruhas. Remember your last questions ng last interview, Ta, na you were asking me, or I was asked, how do you see yourself 10 years from now? How do you see the Good Bruhas 10 years from now? And I told I answered that the Good Bruhas will not die with COVID. So at that time, we were protecting the protectors, which are the frontliners. The frontliners of the city. And from there, Subong, nakita namon na steady ng supply ta. There's a steady supply of the PPEs and everything. So the Good Bruhas, medyo nag-lie-low na sa pag-supply PPEs. So what we thought of is that, ano pa gid mabulig namon sa mga frontliners. So, sulo ko, okay, first response. We can help the city. We can help the frontliners nga. Instead na sila go pagid sa mga like accidents and everything, tama na sila kakapoy eh. They need help. So, we do that for them. I-tap kami na sa 911 if, for example, may mga vehicular accidents, may mga mga medical cases, mga simple medical cases, then we're there to help them. Kadto kami na to, we assess the situation, tapos kung kinahanglan additional resources or anything like ambulance or anything, kami nang relay sila. We do first aid. We keep the scene safe para sa mga patients, and at the same time, we do crowd control. We also have to protect the patients. Kiti ara da sila sa dalan, you don't know what will happen next.
Yes. So basically, it's a first responder unit.
Yes.
Daw EMT ka mo abi.
Yeah,
mo
EMT
daw
approach, yes.
And pila ka bilog subong ang inyo members ng rescue unit, and pila ka ambulances and what have you pa?
So far, Subong, sa board of trustees, nasa kami fixed the number of people, but in the core group, we have like 15 members of the core group.
Core group.
Yeah, that's the core
And
group.
these are the volunteers.
Yeah, these are the volunteers.
Rescuers.
Rescuers. They came from different groups man. Some of them came from Red Cross, some of them came from Copper Incorporated, and some of them MC na mga, like the barangay risk reduction groups. Some of them came from DIA. So, we gather them.
So basically, bago gina yung inyong grupo.
Bago
because,
gina siya yung group namon.
Of course,
It's
we are
new.
exposed to a lot of rescue
Yes.
volunteers there. We have the Amity, ang Chamber,
Yeah, we have
ang
the Amity Chamber.
DYA, and may ara pagit sa unan na Gross Rescue
And we have the Crapper.
Federation, Norfu.
Yes.
Norfi, no? And then nano pagit.
Crapper. We have them from Crapper. Our
sorry?
chairman is from Crapper. We have 3 members from Crapper.
Sorry?
Crapper, Inc. Yeah, they're from that group as well. One of the mayugid na group di sa Bacolod.
So, ang inyong decision is to help. Kay overstretch mo ang kwan eh.
Yes.
Ang mga Dream O.
Yes, very.
Because
very
they
good.
are,
Very.
as you have pointed out, taking care of extrications
Yes,
ng
extrication.
COVID-positive
Yes.
patients. And ang pagbalik man sa ilang mga panimalay, no? Something like that. So, this group of yours was born out of a pandemic. Can you say
Actually,
that?
yes. It was born out of pandemic.
And ang normal nga kwan basta gani mga amo nila, mga foundation. Damo day mga Chinese Chinese Filipino. Pero ang ibang lagba na bungot, may mga edad na. Pero
that's
kamuhubin
true.
ka mo eh.
That's true, yes.
Kablang damo kwarta. Mano ko man. Mabuli ko guro, ma-rescue kami, no? Damo na. No offense meant, no? Because I know some of these guys, damo may edad na eh. Kagdamo gyud man ang gabulig ng mga Chinese di I know that, no? One of them is Edgar C. And then the late Councilor Elmer C.
Yes,
In
that's
fact,
true.
ang ila panimalay, ang ila pamilya, ang iya nanay kag tatay, nagabulig man da. Pero kamuya hubin, pa kamo nanong average nga age sang inyo nga Board of Trustees?
Average age sang Board of Trustees namon is like 30, 40s, early 40s.
Early 40s.
Most of us are
30s.
less than 40.
Oh, less than 40.
And that is young. Eba?
Yeah.
By foundation standards.
Medyo pasado pa sa millennials.
Pwede pa.
Medyo lang.
Millennials.
Inablang hindi ka maminsar, ano man yung ila niya nga gingalgal nga ngita sila yung problema sa lawas nila. No? Because what you're actually doing is you're putting yourselves in a situation nga matubang ka mo problema.
Yes, that's true.
And that's not actually normal human instinct. Because we actually flee from problems.
Yeah.
But why this decision of yours?
First of all, the advocacy ko gid before, ever since, yeah.
Do ka philosophical sa discussion
like-
no?
Ako na lang guro,
Sige, sige.
agawon ko na lang si Mo. Like, they were already doing this.
Oo.
Like, Leanna, like,
Diana. Si Diana, ano nyo?
Oo, araman.
Yeah, Diana
Hindi, alam
is
niyo si
social
Diana?
media. Cousin. Diana Lopez, she's our
the
cousin
first
as well.
cousins affair galit niya.
Hindi, amo na siya, sir. Then, pagka sugod ni isang pandemic, tiga po, ti ara na subong sa social media. Makita ko sila na, makita sa group, the whole group, not because we're friends with other boards of trustees, makita na ang struggle nila to help. And damo, sang sugod, ang sugod-sugod, gini, nagabulig ka mo. Then, gabudlayan sila mag-coordinate, and kulang sila radyo. And these volunteers has to spend their own money. Then,
Yes, we spend our own money.
Oo.
True.
Then, I have friends na medyo may kaya-kayaman, nagambal na kung amo nang kilanlan nyo, mamutay ta. Nagamutay kami like 5 radios or something.
No, 10.
10.
I only asked for one. They gave me
Sa Good
10.
Bruhas ng operator.
Sa previous
Yeah,
na
previous.
group.
I have a previous group na rescue group man.
Okay.
And then hand in hand gabulig as in Good Bruhas gabulig sa ila like look for supplies. At the same time ako yung operations din kuya.
Pero sa radio, hindi lang sa radio, hasta sa mga equipment. Pis aga padulaan,
supplies,
lubaw sa
medical
sila,
supplies.
bandages. Do ka subo bala na ang volunteer ka na mag-rescue. Pag rescue mo, masala-sala ka ba mangita?
Ikaw ang na-rescue mo.
Kasi
that's
no,
true.
masala-sala. Ay, kulang, gali. Pero sa Monti, may mga group of friends kami na medyo may kaya, nagamutay, nakano. But it was not sustainable.
Ah.
Like, it's like a handout thing.
Oo.
So, ang mayara kami mga group na nag-istoryanay kami sa mga friend. There sa board of trustees pila, 2-3 ka
Tatlo,
lawyer.
oo. 3 lawyers. We have
Three
3 lawyers. on
lawyers.
board.
There's an accountant, a doctor, a
Businessman.
something like that. We gathered ourselves like what if we create this foundation and create something sustainable. And with that board of trustees, the goal is to be accountable to the donors. So if you give X amount, you will be able to see this X amount that I've given
Okay,
goes
interesting.
directly. And
Because you are working on the generosity of other people.
Yes.
So,
Trust.
and that is very important, that you have to be accountable.
yeah.
Yes.
Kaya pwede ganta ka sinmil. Dugay-dugay, nga kulang gyapon bindahe diyaw.
Amo na siyang isa sa mga gusto ginamon na like if somebody gives you 100 and you're not accountable, he won't give you the next time.
Yes, that's
So
true.
with the board of trustees, with those accountants, we will break down all of those things.
Oh, yes.
The corporate, it's gonna be corporate na structure na breakdown. And hopefully, like, if you're a corporate structure, corporations would be comfortable helping you because you deal with them in a corporate structure.
The following joined DNX in its second anniversary celebration. Former 3rd District Congressman ALBEE BENITEZ, Councilor Al Victor Espino, Councilor Wilson Jun Gamboa Jr., Abang Lingkod Congressman Stephen Paduano, and Mr. Ricardo Canotdan.
But that is on the corporate side.
Yeah, on the corporate side.
But of course, you have to have accountability on the corporate side. But you have to have competence on the
Sa
operation
operations,
side.
Yes, that's true.
Because pagwa da karon ang tendency sa tao pag trade dia sala mo. Ang imo nga rescuer ga upod man to sala
Yes, yes.
Intra man to singgit.
Actually,
Dason pagkaabot hindi ka balo mag first survey.
yeah.
So that is a problem. So ang next question is amone. Do you have trained rescue volunteers?
Yes, we have. Of course.
Certified?
With the core group, they are certified.
Anong bodies nga naga-certify sa mga volunteers?
Like, they have basic life support na mga courses.
Oo.
And
Sinong
like a
gahatag
chairman,
Sinong gahatag? Ang ga-train?
they are from Red Cross, they are from DYA, they are from Cropper.
So may previous training
Be honest,
sila?
not just basic. Bali sila, may mga EMT trainings na sila. Like our chairman himself, Mr. Francis Gargoles, he's part of the Red Cross Emergency Response Unit. So that's very taas na siya nga level sang training. And then, like, ang mga iba na naman ng members sa core group, trained na sila.
May combat medic nga experience man, why?
So far, wala.
So far, wala.
Pero may alam kami, some of our members nakawasar trained. Water rescue training, they have it. Tapos, what we plan to do is a core group, study ng core group. And then when volunteers come in, we plan to train them. I-train sila na mo, not just the inside training, nga usually what is being done. What we plan to do is, like, ipatrain sila na mo niya, like, with other organizations, yung,
Like with Red Cross. to
like
get
with
the
Red Cross,
certificate
like with
from
the
Red
American,
Cross,
American
So,
Heart
cross-training.
Association. Cross-training. The purpose of that is this. One, isa sa amon plan is the American Heart Association na training, which is AHA. Which is very, very good nga training gidya for the, isa na sa ginalagas.
But can you actually evolve your own training
We can.
later on?
But,
nothing is impossible
diba?
if you build the right foundation.
ang amon
Check with the
ni-
right experience.
Yes. Ang amo niya reason why we wanted them to be trained outside sa mga international organizations or well-known organizations is that we always have this in mind. Ang nagmamahal ng backwatch, mamahalin ng backwatch. So what we want or what we aim to do is ipatrain sila, get the certificates so that magsulod sila sa backwatch and if someday they decide to, go out of backwatch, they can bring that certificate with them, which they can use, not just locally, but internationally. Amo na yung amon pinaka-goal. We want to secure their future. Amo na ang edge din naman sa backwatch.
Well, of course, you're thinking of, you have 15 sa core subong sa
Yeah, we have
inyong rescuers. Anong ideal number that you have to grow?
Ideal number, there's no possibility. Wala siya, endless na siya.
Pero sa first year, do you have any targets?
Right now, we're really focused in establishing that foundation. We first start incorporate siya, the structures. We teach the core group how the corporate structure works, and then anong budgeting, planning, and everything. Then after that, we'll go from there. Right now, ang primary focus is the core group.
The core
Pilada
group.
silang 15 to
15.
fully equip them, to have the proper gears and everything to provide them with the right equipment para pag first response sila in Chakto.
Ready, Chakto.
Then after that, ang next na step, it's whatever we take to date na maglabot.
Pero as of now, assuming you launch a month or two from now, ang inyong core of rescuers are capable of what? Vehicular accidents, fire?
Accidents.
Anong pwede sa
Not more on sa fire. Vehicular accidents, flooding, medical cases. We're ready for that. We are.
Pero mainly it's urban.
Yeah, it's urban. Yeah, urban siya.
Okay, what I realized is, nagta maglantaw sini mo nga Rescue 911, Jaws of Life, damo gamit. May mga flare pa ganing ibanda. May forward-looking infrared radar that they can see people trapped under the rubble.
Yes.
Pero, you face rescue situations as simple as saying, hindi ka sulod ang ambulansya sa nabukid. So, kinanglan ito ang tuwangan mo, ang tao. What I'm trying to say is, do you also consider that nga lain ang aton nga terrain, lain ang aton nga geography, and may specific needs Ang isa ka syudad nga may rural and urban
Yes, may
nga
rural and
barangays.
urban. Yes.
Kaya tikon magkadto kato sa Granada, may mga lugar tong budlay sudlon.
Yes. That's true.
So, paano niyo gin-factor in sa inyong nga plano?
As a group, kami na as Backwatch, of course, we just started. Hindi pa kami kahambal na we can afford to purchase Jaws of Life, mga na mga high-end equipments.
O basi kinanglan tagin man na.
Which, in the end, yes, I'm sure, malabotan namon. But amo ni essence ng Backwatch. The people inside the core group, they are from different groups. So, anytime, kung kinahanglan kami yabulig, hindi namon masarangan, other groups are willing to help us. Amo nang edge namon.
And then you have that wealth of experience nga lain-lain nga rescue
Yes.
unit sa ginalinan.
Like sir, if mo niya right now, like if you build the right system and you gather yourself the right people, you train the right people, anything is possible.
Anong dream system niyo daw? Ang gina-dream ninyo nga system?
Sa ako niya side ara kami sa corporate na side. Ang participation is the chairman and the vice chairman who are also board of trustees. Ara na sila expertise gid ako na no gidang
Sa ops naman niya.
sa operations.
Sa ops naman niya is like we do paramilitary style. But not, of course, not too strict. No, amo na siya, you start off like as a cadet, then as you go along, saka man rank mo. That's what we are planning to do.
But later on makadto kung nagapang-recruit na kamo volunteers, no? Or open kamo for volunteers.
We are open for volunteers.
Makadto ka rin sa Italia parties na. Pero ang hindi gid maintindihan pero may why do people volunteer? Although of course I know nga it is actually the volunteer, ang hearts ng volunteer is the most difficult to defeat.
Yes.
Volunteer ka mo.
That's true.
Bisan sa Chimpogera, sa una, sinang ma-volunteer? Usually, bisan ang mga kamikaze pilots, volunteers ni tanan mo. Tikita mo, mangin matay sila, ya. But in this case, nga nagatry ka mo nga mag-recruit sa volunteers. Kaya subong damo man advocate sa Facebook eh.
Yes.
Diba? Advocate ko sa mo ni nga paano ka nag-advocate? Siya kaya nag-click ko to like. Ha? So it's that empty rhetoric. No? That empty rhetoric nga lain niyang gabuhis buhay ka mo.
Yes.
Diba? May ara man niya nga siya, ti ako ya, ga-fight ni kuya sa right. Isang farmers nga, how? Siya kaya gin-share kong meme. I mean, you know. I mean,
Nagsulat ko caption.
nagsulat ko
Nagsulat
caption.
ko- nagsulat
Yung
ko
taong-taong,
comment.
gito pring ako
Nagsulat ko comment.
taong-taong tong ako nga text. Shout out. Pila ka litra. Yan do, isa man lang to ka sentence. Writer na siya. Ha? What I'm trying to say is, there is that pseudo sense of being someone, no?
Yes.
Pseudo volunteer, pseudo activist, pseudo whatever, no? Pero what you are trying to bring back is the spirit of volunteerism. Nga, kadamo naman sa mga grupo, di nga pwede naman lang kamo ka-intra.
Like on our side, sa ako niya personal na side, sir, nakita ko na sila, ga-volunteer na sila. Hindi na pamangkot ko pag gana sila, go-bra ka sa call center, pila ka oras, din pagpuli mo, ma-rescue ka pa. Paano ka? Imagine, sir, like, my cousin, she's working, and most of those volunteers, they're working 8 hours a day. Then, after siya na, ma-volunteer pagid sila, rescue. Kung gabi, antes ko magtulog, mahigda na ko, ma-send sila, ma-post sila picture, ara to sa vehicular accident, tumuno, ara to sila tanan, ga bulig, ga help sa na accident. Ara na siya ang spirit of volunteerism. Ara ng act. Kami ti, amo tong istorya ko, party sang radyo, gusto na mo na ibutang ang sustainability sang ila volunteerism. Kaya kis ako mag-istorya sila, wala pa sila nakapanyapon.
Uy.
Oh, that's true. Okay,
Pero
so
the heart is strong.
the heart, you know, you cannot beat the heart.
Galing kayo base bala,
You cannot.
may mo kamo supay kumando, aw.
Hindi ba na? Like, you know, we're lucky man na there are good hearts there sa Bacolod na ga-help man sila. Once makita nila, hindi man, not everyone may heart to volunteer maka-interest mo sa operations. Because for some reason, hindi sila pwede.
You have to be competent eh.
What they do
Physically
is,
fit and what have you.
what they do is, they volunteer through sending food, providing food for us,
So logistic
helping
support.
sa supplies, logistic supplies. Everyone, of course, wants to help, especially sa bunga pandemic. But kanya-kanyang way of helping, kanya-kanyang way of, you know, being a volunteer. Yes.
Okay, so subong formative pa lang ang ara sa formative stage ang
Yes.
operations arm, which is the first responders unit.
We go out man pag hindi niya madula sa amon mo as part of the ops or the core group. Hindi niya madula sa amon yang tungod na ang sa corporate side is still building. Tapos kami on the ops side must stop. By nature mabasahan na namon sa GC namon where all the responders are. We have a GC, by the way, na halos tanan nga responder groups. Mabasa na kami kag makita naman and lapit sa area namon, even though wala pa naka-launch si Backwatch. By nature, kagwa na kami na
So ga-respond na kamo subong.
Ga-respond na kami na even if, nakasuksok kami in the farm and everything, wala pa kami ka-launch, pero do, somehow, kung lapit sa imo area, gagwa lang na nga, you have to be there, you have to help. Hindi kay tungod na mahulat pa kami September, kundi kami ma-launch. No,
Kung
it's,
sa bagay.
you know,
September pa.
Yeah, September pa kami ma-launch. Ay, na naiya sa amon, sa mga ops naman, ng mga upod, nga makakadto lang kami na to,
Ang mga volunteers, sir, every night kung mayara needed na first responder. Pila na ka muna kabulan, halin sang pila na ka muna. So, what the Backwatch did is we built something that they can gather. So, amo na sila mga core group na nag-decide na this is something good. nagsalig sila sa
So can we sing you were actually inspired by what you saw during the first few months of the pandemic? Ang Good Bruhas. You were inspired by that? Mhm.
It's inspired in the same time do kabugat man sa do hindi man ko kalaway man na ga-volunteer na kamo dumaalang-alang pa
Malang-alang pa kami.
Then ang structure siya hindi siya sustainable kun ano lang maabot amo na
Amo lang na.
ihatag.
Naratnan ka mo sang espiritu sang
Contagious.
mga aswangli.
I'm
So-
contagious ko kuno eh.
So if it's a group of witches, subong name mo na mo coven.
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 And by the way, ang Amoni Core group, they have been in the rescue scene for one of them decades na. 2 decades. Some of them years na.
Grabe.
Years
So
na.
anyway, what's the dream, Subong? Anong dream from the both of you?
Dream in a sense na ang
Oh,
as
of
a group.
course. Oh.
As a group. Well, dream gid namon niya is to deliver or our aim gid is to give professional first aid and emergency response sa Bacolod. And not just Bacolod, but of course, neighboring cities. Kung di kinanglan kami kung may mga disaster. That's our first aim. Ang second aim namon is for the members. We want to train them. We want them to have a good quality of life through Backwatch. That's our aim. Volunteerism will be there, but of course, at the end of the day, we have to look for money for our bread and butter para sa aton mga families. We aim gidya to give back what the volunteers deserve. Amo gina-aim namon, and to enhance their training. And third ang amon gid gusto is to make everything legal. We plan to do MOAs with or to partner with corporations, with government agencies. Secured man bala ang team na what they are doing is sakto. Nga being a volunteer man kung gisa is risky mo. So gusto na mo na in the sense nga when they go out, secured sila. Nga if anything happens to them, you don't know. Ano matabo mo sa emergency. Secured sila nga at the end of the day, Backwatch will be there for them. Will be there for them. Ara ang Backwatch sa likod nila. Ano naging aim naman.
Counselor.
Ako sir, on top of what Lian said, ang goal gid is to build a strong, sustainable group. The Backwatch. I want it to be, ang goal is sustainable. Okay, like you said, gadamo, sang peak. Pag peak ya mo na, gulpi lang dula na sila. Ma-peak naman sila, mandula. Like, it's, ang goal is to build something that is sustainable, na may long-term planning and everything. Kay, once na may amuna, din gulpi lang madula, may maabot naman dula do. Kalaway, kagang ang service niya, din, ang ka-disheartening sa mga volunteers na maupod ka din kulang-kulang, din madula, din ma-dissolve naman, kanugod sang volunteerism.
Yes.
So, the goal is to build something that they can depend on. It's a strong, sustainable group.
On that note, Sir Enzo, Miss Lianna, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you, DNX.
Thank you.
The following joined DNX in its second anniversary celebration. Chong Tapsilogan and Sizzlers, Bread Bite Bake Shop, Ting Ting's Native Food, ISK Tech, Country Homes, and Mr. Vladi Gonzales.